welcome to Minute to Skim It, special episode where it is me being and Hannah. Kyle has evidently we're very, very loud. Which
that's not,
anyone who works back in the back room with us, whenever we're here, we're always talking. We're always like the pre-Minute to Skim It every week is me and Hannah sitting there and talking about the comics. Mm-hmm. So this one is gonna be fun. Maybe turn down the volume on your computer, like to even it out. But Miss Jen has been working hard out at Exxon. She is here. Literally just walked in the door a few minutes ago. So did not get a chance to read the new books we did get in this week. Mm-hmm. Because as some of you guys may or may not know, I don't know how widespread the problem is, but we did not get anything from Diamond today. So
it's not half the country.
Half the country.
Okay. It just means it's like Christmas tomorrow. We can have it again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you'll notice we've got our Marvel books, we've got our DC, we have Scout, we have other fun things that have come in, but we did not get any of like Image and things like that. We were able to read a couple, I think, at least one or two.
Yeah. I read digitally.
Yes,
I read one from Aftershock, and I read one from it. We both read one from Image.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, do you want to get us started off?
Sure. I'm gonna start with Epic Taverns: Tales from the Fantastical Crimes Unit. Yeah. From Black Caravan, based on the video game by Hyperkinetic. Your favorite D&D-esque team, and the title's really long. They shorten it to the FCU, and they're agents of the Fantastical Crimes Unit. Basically, they're detectives, but they also go and do adventures while solving these crimes. So like if somebody, like in this issue, somebody goes missing or is, they're kidnapped and they're trying to figure out how to get the kidnapped person back. So of course, along with the detective work, they also get to fight the bad guys. So I really liked it. Makes me really want to go check out the game too.
I had no idea it was based on the game at all.
I didn't either. But when you open it up, it has based off of the video game and all the information about the game. And then the last page is an ad for the actual game and where you can play it. I know it's on Steam and a few other places. So I don't want to give too much away, but it's fantastic. The art style is it's a little bit, it's not the same as in the video game. Mm-hmm. It's very 2D, not very not like 3D rendered or anything like that. But I thought it was great, and I cannot wait to read more of it.
Yeah, this sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what am I gonna do next? Let's do some Marvel. Let's do The Thing. #1 came out this week, which this one was a lot of fun. And this one, really, reading it just takes me back. It is such an awesome, classic Fantastic Four, The Thing, just thinging around.
Yeah.
And he's
Say thinging around?
yeah, and this one really, it's one of those where it's starting off, it's a #1, it's just getting him in a rough place. starts off, he's getting back from his fishing trip. He went on a fishing trip offshore. He came back. He's got all this like fish, lobster stuff, and he's ready to like come home and cook it and see his family. He gets to, you know, the Baxter Tower. No one's there. Everybody's gone. Sue and Richard are out, and they are at a conference. And you know, yeah, it's nothing nefarious yet. And so they're just out doing their own thing. And Johnny's at like a car auction, whatever. And so then he's like, "Oh man, my friends, they're not here, my family." And so then he goes to try and find his girlfriend or fiance. They're engaged in this one. And he finds her with another guy. Not like dating like anything like that, but just like, and you know, anybody who's read a lot of the Fantastic Four knows that the thing, you know, he is self-conscious. He does have jealousy. You see that in this one. You know, it's kind of one of his classic things. And he ends up overreacting a little bit and getting imprisoned. He gets put in jail.
I mean, yeah.
So, you know, and it's definitely setting it up for a bigger storyline. This is not just like, oh, let's get him in a bad place and then we'll see. It's definitely hinting at there's a big bad, there's weird stuff going on. He's been offered a free trial of an alien dating simulator thing. It's getting weird and it's awesome. It's yeah. Oh, if only you liked reading. Well, this one's mostly pictures, you know. That's the good thing about comics.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this one's really fun, especially anybody who likes the older Fantastic Four comics, which I've loved them for so long. So that one was really fun.
Yeah.
Warmed my heart. So
I love the character, the Thing. So I'm excited that they're finally doing something with him because I was really waiting for them to do something. I'm gonna do Harley Quinn, the Eat Bang Kill Tour, the animated series number 3. Because I've read the first 2 and I was just on a call with, or not really a call, but like one of those new things on.
Sorry. losing my mind.
Yeah. One of those, what are they called?
I think you call it a space
on Twitter. Yeah. With T. Franklin and Taylor Esposito, who are the writer and letterer for this book. And somehow
someone is off probation. You're back.
Yes. So if you remember, Bean did the first issue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if you did the second issue.
No, I didn't. I just did the first one.
So in the second issue, they are going to Selena Kyle's place. So that way Harley and Ivy can go on a honeymoon. But they don't want to take the hyenas with them. So of course Selena should definitely watch the dogs.
Yeah, the puppies. The
her
sweet
babies.
Puppies, yeah.
Who are definitely vegetarian as Harley, and she somehow convinces Ivy to convince Selena in issue 2. And then in this issue, it picks up right after they've left Gotham. They're trying to get away from everyone else. So,
oh, that's right. We do. We have the same glasses.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we match. They're almost the same. Yeah.
Mine are a little bit blue.
At least you're not wearing a flannel today, like you sometimes do. We do have similar.
Find my, it's somewhere. I can't find it. I need to wash it anyway. But, so this story has the first part of it. It's flashed forward, and then it goes back through what happened, and then catches you up. But, such a great series. If you if you aren't sure about where to start with Harley Quinn, I highly recommend this series to start with. There's only going to be 6 issues, so we're at halfway through. But if you're jonesing for the next season, this ties exactly with it. So I love it. And the lettering in this is so good. Just the different it's so different than I've ever seen in any of the other Harley books I've read before. So
oh, thanks, Jeff. All right. Ooh, what should I do next? Well, I did a Marvel, so I guess I didn't read any DC this week.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I did read all the DC.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk about this one. So this is from Scout, from Black Caravan. This is Provenance of Secrets, #1. And you can see from this cover, it's spooky. I will say a gore warning for people who don't like gore. It's not prevalent through the whole book.
Then I'm glad you read this one.
Yeah, there is a part early on where it is pretty gruesome. If that bothers you, just be aware. And it's only like 1 or 2 pages. But this book it's set up in the style of like the old movies from like the 40s, where like it's like the old school detective where there's like he's like walking around like investigating, and there's like the voiceover. It's like, I knew Jimmy was lying to me, like it's in that style. And it's about a detective who is he has his own issues, kind of been through a lot, kind of not coping with it the best most of the time, but his personal life is kind of just background, and he is investigating this weird series of deaths, and these bodies have been found, and they all have like a weird symbol carved into them, and then also painted on the walls in the victim's blood. So it's like it's clear that they're all connected, and all of the people who they're finding are either actors, or if they're not an actor, they're an avid reader. They're a bookworm. So we're all in danger here. I mean, clearly from this whatever's happening.
Yeah.
And so he's just investigating, and he goes back and he finds out these things this has been going on for like 40 years. And so he's just like figuring this out. And yeah, it's definitely noir. That's the word I was looking for. It is old school detective film noir style. And it's really good. And so it's also definitely got like mystical elements that are coming in, because it's clearly like it's not going to be a serial killer. It's like something weird and mystical, because he ends up at this theater where they're like, we're making the best performance. It's going to be the best and all this, and something's going on. And he was the end of this book is he's breaking into the theater to find out what's going on. You get a little peek, something that's not of this world. So that's Provenance of Secrets from the Scout imprint Black Caravan, and it was awesome.
I figured you'd like that one, because I was like, that one looks like it's going to be a little bit more creepy than I like.
Yes.
This one looks creepy, but it's really not. So. All right, Headless. And I thought this one might be a little bit too much for me, because I didn't read the first one. I think Jen did. And this issue, like, it catches you up. Like, you don't need to have read the first issue in order to read this one to see if it's your cup of tea or not. But I'm absolutely going to go and read the first trade. This is season 2, #1 of Headless. Let's see. So in the first series, you find out that, oh gosh, what's his name? The kid here is he has the spirit of the Headless Horseman.
He has it?
He is this he's I mean, it feels like it's like almost like a haunting rather than like a possession, but it's a little bit of both. Because he'll get so angry. And so in the first series, you find out that, you know, and about that, and that his people are dying, and it takes place in Salem. So of course, you know, there's a whole lot of folk stories isn't really the right word, but
like lore kind
of? Lore about, you know, witches and the Headless Horseman and all that. In this issue, it's that all of that is done. People aren't dying anymore, and this kid is he's like, how am I gonna get rid of this? How am I going to get rid of this spirit? Like, he doesn't want a mythology. Yeah.
He doesn't want a mythology.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to have the spirit. He doesn't want to risk, you know, having more people get killed. And so he has to, he only can think of one way to do that. And that's what we see at the beginning of this book. At the same time, his older brother, which is why they moved to Salem, which is how the rest of his family ended up in Salem in the first place, keeps having nightmares about, my guess is it's an ex.
Okay.
Who was in the first series dragged to hell.
Oh.
So
not.
But he's trying to overcome those nightmares and that trauma. So I can't wait to read the first one to figure out more about what's going on, but the first series, but I loved it a lot.
And you feel like you could jump into this?
Yeah, you could jump into it without reading it, but you'll want to go back and read it. So,
I guess now's as good a time as any.
Oh yes,
to talk about Venom.
I love Venom.
The big release from Marvel. In the comments it says, "Just ask Constantine."
Yeah, right.
Oh man, and so Venom coming out this week. Nice, big, thick first issue. Tons of awesome covers. Gorgeous covers. And I think my favorite one is the Peach Momoko cover. I love it. Showing a little bit of a sensitive side of Venom, in my opinion. Other people might
flowers.
Think it has flowers on it. I love it. But so I am not like deeply versed in Venom, and I think that this is really good. Like if you don't read Venom, to pick this up, it gives you like a little paragraph in the beginning that's kind of like, hey, here's what the story is. Here's what it's going to be. It basically says, you know, Venom is a symbiote that that bonded with Eddie, and then Eddie has had a child, and it tells you all this in like on the front page that eventually then his child and Venom are going to be bonded as well. And so this first issue actually is taking you before it bonds with Dylan, with the son. So this one, it starts off with Dylan. He is in school. He's struggling. His dad is gone, controlling the other symbiotes out in space and fighting stuff. And he's not really there for his son as much as his son needs him, you know? And
kind of hard from outer space, though. So.
Yes, yeah. And, you know, it's kind of hinted at that maybe, like, something bigger is almost like playing with his mind and, like, with his perception of time. Because for him, and it might just be he's just caught up in being in space, but maybe there's something bigger going on, because there is clearly something bigger going on throughout the book. There's a big bad that's coming through. Something is within the symbiotes and able to get into them. So basically, the father, Eddie, he's in space, he's out there, he's, zooming around, fighting bad guys, everything. And then he encounters something, we don't really know what it is, that says, hey, say goodbye to everyone you love, because they're all gonna die. And he's like, I gotta go home. Immediately, he's like, I gotta go home. And then it's about him this first one is about him trying to get in contact with his son trying to contact him, and crazy stuff happens at the end as they're trying to come together and, reach each other, and while he's trying to keep his son safe. And so it's really cool. Like I said, I really feel like I understand the character of Venom a lot better after reading this, even though I didn't have a strong understanding before. So this one is really, really good one to pick up. And like I said, gorgeous artwork inside and out. So that's some coolness from Marvel this week.
All right. And I read My Date with Monsters, #1, which I don't have up here because I read it digitally, but I'm going to do that one real quick. That one's by Aftershock. And first we meet this mom and her daughter, who is 12 and doesn't need a babysitter.
Look.
Oh,
they
yeah.
put it up on the screen for us.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's the girl on the cover there.
That's her? The spooky? She's laying down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And she is 12, and her mom is going out on a date, and so of course brings has a babysitter come over.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to think of how to not spoil it. Basically, I'm just going to set up the world for you, because this is what you're going to need to know. Science happens, and now when you have nightmares, monsters can come through.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad science. But put that science back.
So, they have come up with a medication that you take. It's mandatory. Everyone has to take it before they go to sleep. That prevents those nightmares from breaking through. For the most part. I mean, of course, there's going to be some people who are just more susceptible to it. The good thing is there is a guardian that watches these thinner parts of through the veil, and they have specific military what's the word for it, like squadrons,
like teams,
yeah that fight these monsters as well. I think I'm just gonna leave it there, because
that's enough to make me want to read it.
It's really oh man, it's not at all what I was expecting. I'm not gonna say that I expected. I didn't like. I was expecting a little bit more gore than I thought it was gonna have. There's still a little bit, but not a whole lot. So, but yeah.
That definitely makes me want to read it. Like, that's, oh my goodness. And I kind of, when I just saw, and of course, like I said, this is one of the books we didn't get in physically this week. And when I heard My Date with Monsters, I was imagining like the manga style, where it's like a dating game and like there's a werewolf. Like, that's what
that's what I thought too. And I was like, and then I saw the cover and I was like, oh, this might be a little bit more gory, but
yeah,
it's It's fantastic. I love it. I cannot wait to read more of it.
Yeah, I will probably read it in a few days when we
Yeah.
get it in
Yeah.
physically. Okay, so one thing we did get in, and
Mhm.
you're talking about how there was a comment about how the first, the Epic Tavern book had a long title. You're not even ready for this, which actually I'm going to use my assistant here of my phone. This, so I make sure I get all the words. This is Symphonic Verses, Symphony of the Phantom Night, Volume 3 Prelude. That is the full title of this. So what this is actually basically like an ash can for this series. And you can see on the back of here, which this is like a thick like card. I don't even know what to. It's like a board that's in here that's supporting the comic. It's got this gorgeous like illustration on the back where it shows that they're sold in volumes. I guess is kind of like the usual way.
Yeah.
But and to be honest, the reason I read this, I knew that this was pretty far into the series, but I saw this and thought, "What's that?" And I knew other people watching the show, would be like, "What's that?" You know, you might be in your local comic shop and see this crazy thing. I'm trying not to get the glare on it.
Oh yeah.
But if you can see like just the detail in the illustration, it's really pretty. A lot of work has gone into this. It's a very, I don't know if it's a single creator, at least it's a small team.
One person.
It's one person. And this is a labor of love. Like, you can feel it just in the packaging and everything. So this one, it'll give you a little taste of what the full volume would be. And here's the thing with this is not a conventional comic book reading experience. What this feels like, what it felt like to me, is it reminded me of like those high fantasy books that you get, like a novel or something, that have those gorgeous illustrations in them, like the special like bound editions. And that's really the feel of reading this is, and the story itself is about, how do I describe it? It's about like these beings and like that are in this fantasy world of darkness and light and good and evil, and they are, the main character Adonis, he is at sort of a peaceful point, but from my reading of it and from what I understand of this being volume 3 that I'm jumping into, is that the love of his life is still trapped, and in order for him to go and find her, he has to like embrace the darkness and go through this transformation. Like I said, it's very beautiful art, very artistic, and it sort of like really pulls you into the story in a very different way than most comics. So this is really cool, really neat, especially if you really enjoy like very intricate art styles and like digital art. This is a good one to pick up. It's only $5, and it's a good thing to just check out and just see what this is about. And there's a whole world of story on there, if it is something that interests you. So that's what that coolness is. The Symphonic Verses Symphony of the Phantom Night Volume 3 Prelude.
All right. So you read the first one, and I've read the first one. Batman the Imposter. This is book 2. Oh, man. Okay, so in the first issue, there is an imposter Batman going around killing people. Do you remember how many people he has killed?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think it was only like a handful in the first, though.
Yeah.
It was not a lot.
Yeah, you see him kill 3 people at one, the very first time in the first issue. By the end of this book, there are a lot more deaths that have happened. I don't. This is not like your normal. Is very far removed from your normal Batman universe. it's definitely a more what if feel to it. In the first issue, we see Bruce find a therapist.
Yeah.
Which
Not a bad idea.
right.
Yeah.
Should definitely happen in more Batman universes.
Mm-hmm.
But he has made a deal to go see her every morning before dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Or, at dawn at the latest. And in this issue, he's still keeping up his part of the deal. He's looking for more information about this imposter. And the art is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
And I really love the detective character
Yes.
that they bring in.
Yes,
awesome.
This is the first time that we've seen like the rest of the police force where Gordon is not he's left the police force and in a disgraceful way. I
forgot about that.
Yeah. So I can't remember her name.
I don't remember it either.
I remember her last name is Wong.
Mm-hmm.
And we see more of that character in this issue, which I love. I love the chemistry that they have.
Yeah.
With their discussions.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first issue, there is the one other detective that's her partner who looks just like Terry Crews from as his character from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's exactly in this issue you see a lot more of him, and that's exactly what he is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So
I know. Hannah had like Google Images and the like digital edition.
I was like,
up.
I have to see if it's this. If it is, it was exactly the same. They just instead of his tie being striped this way, it was striped the other way.
Yeah.
So
it was awesome. Like I fully support them using that. Oh, all right. What's next? I didn't realize how much Scout I read. I had a good week reading Scout. I had fun. All right, and this one, so this one is an Ashcan, so it's a little short one, but this is Attack at Acapulco, and this is gonna be the first comic out of the new imprint that Scout is doing of Chispa, and it is
not called Attack at Acapulco, despite the fact that it says it on the front. It's a demon tail.
Oh, a black demon tail. Is that the title of it?
Yep.
Is it like a Black Demon Tail Attack at Acapulco?
Yeah,
or is that
the Attack at Acapulco is just to make it look like a movie poster.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I only know this because I talked to them directly about it.
Okay. So if people want this, you have to ask for a Black Demon Tail, just down here at the bottom. This is the Ashcan, they're figuring stuff out. And it's really good. But Chispa is going to be Scout's new imprint where they really work on doing like bilingual, like Spanish and English comics. And you really see that in here. A Black Demon Tail Ashcan, I guess. Okay. And I'm sure that when we get the number one, we'll have it on the show. So then, folks can know more about exactly what it's going to look like and what it's going to be called. But this one is really good. You can see from the teeth in the back, they're going to be a big monster. A little bit of a spoiler. I mean, it is an Ashcan, so it's not very long. Not a lot to spoil. But then basically, from what we can see so far, is this is taking place in Acapulco, and basically this corporation has been manufacturing things there, and they have just been dumping their waste into the water. They've been dumping it in the ocean. People are getting sick. People are getting rashes. People are not happy. The water looks gross. The fish are dying. The whales are dying. Like, it's horrible. And the guy who's running it, the CEO, is like, whatever, I don't care. I don't care about fish. I don't care about people, And he just doesn't care. And all of a sudden, at the end of this, the black demon takes care of that guy in a aquatic form. I don't think that's the black demon's permanent, but let's just say that yeah,
It's a shark book!
It's a shark. It's a shark. A giant shark comes and eats the mean CEO. So it is absolutely worth reading just to see mean CEO.
And it's a pointy book.
It's a pointy book. It is a pointy book. This is gonna be really cool. I was able to understand a lot of the Spanish because of my soon-to-be father-in-law, and his use of Spanish profanity frequently. So that helped my book. Thanks, Art. It's really good. It's really fun. It's a good book.
All right, let's do this one. All right, we both read this one.
Yes.
So She Bites. This is the cover that has the title on it. That's the
New York City Comic Con special.
But this is what the ash can looks like normally. And Jen has also read this one. Yes?
Hey, she did.
Which one? Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Don't miss that mess.
Yeah. So do you want to?
It's up to you. You can take this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this little girl has put up an ad that looks like this. It says babysitter wanted. And it has the phone number. And so a 18-year-old college student goes to the house to fill this ad. But the little girl, if you can't see the fang there, is a vampire.
I mean, it's pretty clear in the ad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Babysitter wanted for vampire, well-behaved, well-paid, call for inquiry. I mean, but I mean, who would actually put that they're a vampire in an ad, though? You know, like.
Yeah, I think in the comic it doesn't say for vampire in parentheses.
Right.
I think it just says babysitter wanted.
Yeah. And she even, like, she says she's babysat for Spider-Man before, using air quotes around Spider-Man because it was just a little boy who was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So she finds out very quickly that this little girl is actually a vampire, like she says. I cannot wait for more. What about you?
It's gonna be so good. And I love the art style. You know,
Yes.
I kind of have a thing where if a comic has like one art style on the front and it doesn't really match the inside, it kind of throws me off a little bit. This is not super, I mean, it is pretty close, like that cover, to what the art inside. The art inside is very sort of like Scotty Young, like exaggerated.
Yeah.
But it works so well. Like the characters and like how they're drawn, it's just one of those where it like matches perfectly. And I love that.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
Anything to add, Miss Jen, about that one?
No, I got to sit next to the creator of that book, and she actually works in Hollywood.
Oh, nice.
And she had like the most brightly colored shoes on, and she let me know which brand they are, and I'm going to buy some. And that's important about this book.
Yeah. Miss Jen is shoe buddies with the creator, which probably makes it a pointy book. All right. I'm going to talk about the one that I read digitally that we did not get in today, which is probably one of the biggest ones everyone is crying that we didn't get. And that's What's the Furthest Place from Here? The next big one from Image, I'm going to say. That everyone's been excited about. To be honest, I had heard that this was a book about music, about vinyl. For some reason, that's all I had heard. And of course, all their stickers have vinyls on them. So I was like, wow, this is going to be a fun, like, slice of life working at a record store. It's not. No, and I am so happy with what I read. I loved it. And so I don't know what the greater world is that this is taking place in. And I think that's the point, is like it's a mystery. So you go in and it's very like Lord of the Flies style, you know, where it's like it's a bunch of kids and they're just scrapping and like holding it together on their own, and they are always referring to the fact that like they're a family, and then there are other families in the neighborhood, and it's like, you got to stay out, this is our territory. It's kind of like gang war, like with the families.
Yeah, kind of.
And
but they're just trying to keep their territory. They're not trying to expand to other territories.
Yeah. And there's a lot going on right away. There is sort of a leader figure, and then they're kind of with the main character, and what you'll see on a lot of like the variant covers too is this young girl named Sid who is pregnant, and it's not really explicitly said, but it's probably the father of the child is missing. Is this other kid, and he has gone missing, and they don't know where he's gone. And then suddenly he shows up again and is very wounded. They start having issues with their neighbors. The neighboring families are like, hey, why are you on our territory? Why are you like, well, and they're like, well, why are you on our territory?
Yeah.
And just things are just like
because they're still kids.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, they have these arguments like, I'm not touching you. Oh, well, I'm not touching you. And it's like, but with their territory.
Yeah. And it's the whole first of it is really building up like something's going on.
Oh,
something is going on. Something is weird. Something is stirring all this stuff up. And there's all these like allusions to somewhere outside of this like area they live. And that like if you go to this outside area, you don't come back. And it's just so weird. And there's like these weird figures that they call the strangers that are like kind of like supernatural. Like
that. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. And so it's so weird. I am so excited to read the rest of the series to figure out what the heck is going on. Like, what's happening here?
It's Matt Rosenberg goodness. So yeah, it's exactly what I want from a Matt Rosenberg book. Wouldn't you say, Miss Jen?
Rosenberg just will blow your mind.
I don't know that I've read anything of his before, so I gotta go find some.
Home 4 kids walk into a bank tonight.
Okay, yes, that sounds great.
And then tomorrow you're gonna come punch me in the face.
Oh no! I'm not going to do that.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Probably both.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But. So yeah, that one. So be watching. Hopefully nobody really knows when we're gonna get those books in, but you know what? It just gives you more time to call your LCS, and tell them you want this book, that you want what's the furthest place from here. Like, it's because it's gonna be awesome. Yeah. Alrighty, let's see what else you got. You got Robin and Batman.
Yeah.
My writer that I do know.
Yes.
I do follow my Jeff Lemire.
Robin and Batman #1. And I had started this one digitally, when I was doing FOC for it, and I was like, okay, I want to read this one when it's in my hands, because the artist is Dustin Nguyen. Just like it is on the cover, just as gorgeous on the inside. This is not Damien. This is Dick Grayson.
Okay.
So this is a bit of it almost feels like it's like a little bit of a twist to the original story of them getting together because or maybe it's more of like a different perspective with a little bit more knowledge about what's what's Dick's deal, essentially, because he wants to be a superhero so bad, and this is he gets the uniform in this issue, but this is basically like the beginning of him actually going out into Gotham to be able to fight crime. And Bruce really is like really reluctant to let him, because he's a kid. But you know, Batman, of course, he won't just say it's because he's a kid. He says he's not ready. And of course, Alfred is like, he is a kid. Like, he's gonna react to things like being told no, how a kid reacts. So, we see another character, a villain that doesn't have to do with the villains that the bad guys that Dick is fighting in the first part of it. But I think there's like a personal connection that that this villain and Dick have that Dick has no idea about. And I don't think Batman necessarily knows either. Yeah. But I love this series already. There's only gonna be 3 issues. So definitely one you don't want to miss. Yeah. And that, like I said, especially with that writing and art team, it's fantastic. All right. I think the last one is North Bend #1 from Scout. This is North Bend season 2 #1. That says it right there. I don't know what season 1 was about, and I don't have to read this, so you don't have to. And I saw this cover, which at first glance is like a normal cover, and then you realize he's looking at the back of his own head in the mirror. And it's that's why I grabbed this one, because I was like, what weirdness is going on in here? And so this is really interesting, and I really enjoy that this is coming out this week, because it's a good book to read on the week of Veterans Day. I really enjoyed it. I definitely think there's a large military component to this, and it was clearly written by somebody who was either in the military or really did their research or really had someone from the military advise them, because like the jargon, the scenarios are very, very accurate, which for a lot of veterans, sometimes you're reading a comic and it kind of pulls you out of it when you're like, that wouldn't happen like that. Right. And there are little asterisks, and it lets people who aren't military know, hey, this is what this means. So there are little explanations to it. So if you're military, you probably will really enjoy this, because it is so accurate. It is also, for that reason, possibly triggering for some folks that might have PTSD. Just something to kind of be aware of going in. But I thought that was really enjoyable. And so basically the main character, he is, it starts off with him actually naked, laying in the middle of the street. And then it's weird because it like plays with time. It almost has this like, it has a very supernatural element to it, as if it's going in and out of time. But I'm not sure. I think that it probably is going for sci-fi, but it feels like the kind of sci-fi that is also mimicking something very real in life. And I do feel like it is going to be very relatable to people who may have had to struggle with PTSD, of that idea of being suddenly drawn back into combat experiences and everything. So he, throughout this, is sort of going into the past, into his life in the military and the scenarios he was in, and then into current life. And then there's like confusion as he's coming back into modern life. And like I said, I didn't read season 1. I'm not sure if like
season 1 of North Bend would tell us more of this story, or if it's a whole new one. But I didn't feel like I was missing anything just jumping in right here. And I really, really enjoyed it. So very, very good book.
Awesome.
And yeah, I think
that's
done.
everything that we were able to read today.
Yeah.
There's a few other ones that I definitely want to read.
I know. Yeah.
That we didn't get in. But I think it's Nyx from Dynamite is definitely one that I've got on my radar.
One.
Yeah. Just the gorgeous covers alone. I'm like, okay, I want to know about this character for sure. I'm trying to think, because I also was looking through all of the previews recently, because I was like, I want to know other things.
Yeah, my one that I wanted to read that we didn't get in, that I don't really know that much about, is regarding the body of Oswald, or regarding the matter of Oswald's body.
Yes.
There it is. And I don't know very much about this one, but I know that it's about the Kennedy assassination and conspiracy, and I'm there for it. You know, I mean, like, and I'm sure anybody who like really was into Department of Truth and stuff like that, like, is probably also into it, you know. So I was really bummed at that one, and I feel like I hadn't heard that much about that one.
No, I hadn't either. I was trying not to read too much about it because I want to go into it blind.
Yeah.
I love going into Boom books blind, but that one is by Boom. And I love Boom books, so.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I will see. I might review that one next week just because I'm excited to read it. So
definitely.
We'll see. But yeah, no, it'll be but yeah, just be patient with your LCSs. Books might be in a little bit later, you know.
And
maybe.
if you don't have a comic shop near you, you can go to comicshoplocator.com and type in your zip code, your state, city, and it'll pop up all the stores near you. If you're traveling, it's a great resource as well. It'll also have links to their websites, their Facebook pages, and all that. So if you're not sure if your shop is going to have books yet or not, you'll be able to find all that, and if they'll definitely have posted about it.
Yeah, I'm expecting either like tomorrow, maybe sometime soon. All
maybe
of the
Thursday
stores start
at
getting
the latest, but I'm sure
books
we'll get
are
them.
here. Books are here. You know, so. All right. Well, this has been awesome. We're actually a few minutes early, but with the lack of books that we had, you know, I think we did good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we talk so much already.
Yeah, we do.
I'm like, you know, Kyle was like, if you can't fill an hour, I was like, I'm pretty sure we can fill an hour. We could do that. So this is the Loud Girls.
Yes.
Logging out for the day. All right.
Bye.
We'll see you next week. Bye.